AT&T Stadium. Brandon Aubrey has the honors, and we are underway here in Arlington. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations leaving high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior, whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and is doing everything in his power to follow through.
Lawrence looking to pass on the first play. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Now Lawrence. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and it blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
3rd and 12. Now Lawrence to throw. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. A give, running right, ETN, down to about the 37.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now Lawrence. He'll get that underneath ETN. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They run here with Rico Dowdle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run again with Dowdle, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's 3rd and 6. Throwing, Prescott. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The slot man in motion right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 25, here's 2nd down and 7. Here's Lawrence. Over the middle, complete. It's Washington. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. They'll run with Etienne. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 2. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the 1st quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. A short throw to Ingram. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They are still in search of their first points of the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a 1st down. Prescott now. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3 and out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
They run here with Dowdle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. A running play. It's Dowdle. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And his throw is incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Now Prescott. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Second and 10. Here's Prescott. He'll get this to his running back, Dowdle. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And again, it's Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Dowdle will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And they take the lead here at 7-6. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 47 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From the shotgun, Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain. Here's Lawrence to throw.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick here is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Keeps himself upright. And shutting him off, now open field. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
Prescott from the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Four seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. final play of the half. It's Lawrence. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a one-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, that is just a flat miss. He's in the pocket. The protection holds up. He sees his man come free, but maybe he just gets a little excited about the prospect of a long touchdown.
Here's Prescott. Being chased out left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That is Joshua Hines-Allen working his way in for the sack. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott to throw it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
That's exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. ETN. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. All that blown up by DeMarvion Overshown.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Lawrence will throw. Complete to Washington. So the completion good for 7 there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Lawrence. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
That is Josh Hines-Allen getting in there to bring him down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On the run, it's Dowdle. And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now Prescott.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Throwing, Prescott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Forced out to his left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on 3rd down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the 1st down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked by Chad Muma, and the Jaguars are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the third quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Play action. It's Lawrence. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play.
Now Lawrence.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And that is incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line. And that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
2nd and 5.
Prescott now.
Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup of 38.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
61 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott. A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Cowboys are able to build on to their fourth-quarter lead.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits are on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Aubrey now for the PAT.
And with that, the lead is up to 8. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was all capped off by Dak Prescott, keeping it and taking it in on the touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. There's still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and two-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 28-yard line.
They'll look to ETN to start things out.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
A shotgun snap and again to ETN.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now Lawrence to throw. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about...
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Lawrence. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Here comes 2nd down. Back to throw. Lawrence. This is caught. It's Kirk. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 16. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Lawrence. Washington's got it. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
Now 2nd and 4. Throwing now, Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
A big play here as the crowd noise rises. 3rd and 1. Steps away to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Now 1st and goal. He's back to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. This ball intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys have just about sewn up this football game. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given. And it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.